Welcome back to my Country Craft Corner. How in the world are you guys doing today? It is so good to see you again, and thank you so much for stopping back by to see what I'm up to. And y'all, I'm up to making a wreath. And you're gonna see this video in sections with me dressed in different outfits. I have started this on a Sunday afternoon. And I asked Chris to get the big ladder out to get the wreath off of the mirror, my big fat burlap wreath that I used for spring and then for my patriotic. Well, y'all, I was going to remove that spray and just remove the bow off of that spray and just use the same spray, just take the red out of it and And Chris looks at me and he goes, Arlene, why don't you just make a new wreath? I said, because I've spent enough money on this decor, and I don't want to spend a lot more. I need florals as it is. And he looked at me and he goes, you will not be happy with this if you do not do this correct. He said, do it right from the start. This stuff is, we looked at it here on the counter. We took that wreath down, we looked at it here on the counter, and there were things that I had glued on and stuck to it. And it is a beautiful wreath, you guys. And I didn't want to deconstruct it. I didn't want to. It was too pretty. Sorry, I'm getting emotional because despite what some people say, I don't like having to spend money to make something new, you know, but Chris is the one who put his foot down. He said, you are going to make this or you will not be happy with this. And he said, I have the mantle halfway done. You'll see that in the next video, or maybe you've seen it. I'm not sure what order I'll put these videos up in. But he said, you will not be happy with it if you do not get it to match the mantle and the feel that you're working toward. And he's right. He knows me very well, and he knows I'm a perfectionist. So he does know I like to save money too, but he also understands. He said, Arlene, he said, just go ahead. It's okay. So what I'm going to do today is start making my wreath from scratch. I just happen to have, I happen to have one of these big fat 24-inch wreath forms. This wreath, when it is finished, will turn out to be about 33 inches wide, tall, whatever in circumference. I don't know how you measure that, but it's going to be a big, massive wreath. And today, what I'm going to be working on when you're seeing me dressed like this is I'm going to be putting a layer of regular colored burlap on. And then I'm going to be covering it with cream burlap. And I may go ahead and make a big funky bow, but I can't do anything with the spray in this part of the video because I have no florals with which to do it. So I need to wait till tomorrow to do that. But I thought I would go ahead and get started on this, and then I'll come back another day and finish it for you guys. When I think about it, you probably are going to be able to be seeing the mantle first. All right, so let me turn the camera around, and I'm sorry if I'm getting a little confusing in the way I'm dressed and whatever through these videos, but this is the way I've got to work because it is a Sunday afternoon and Hobby Lobby is not open, and I like to get my florals for this at Hobby Lobby. So anyway, let's turn around and get started on doing some burlap here on this frame. This is actually, I'm happy to do this for you guys though, actually, when I think about it, because I haven't done a wreath from scratch like this in a long time. So I'm happy to show how I do this from beginning to end. So this is a good tutorial for those of you who might want to do something like this. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pull all of my chenille ties kind of up and to the top so I know exactly where everything is. Some people who do these wreaths like this, that work with the wreath form like this, I got this wreath form from Michael's, I believe, after Christmas on sale. And as I said, it's 24-inch wreath frame. And a lot of people, most people that you'll see, except for me, because I like to be different, not really, this is just how I taught myself how to do a burlap wreath, will turn their wreath this direction and work on it this way. I like to do it this way. I don't know why, that's the way I prefer to do it. I really don't believe that there's a right or wrong way, but this is the way I like to do it. So, 24-inch wreath frame, get all your chenille ties so that they're sticking up so you know where they are. Get yourself a tape measure, and I'm going to start this wreath out with burlap. Now, and I'm going to finish it off, so the burlap is I'm going to do 2 rows of burlap. One around the outer ring and one around the inner ring. I'm going to go ahead and drop that roll to the floor. This is very old burlap. I got this from Hobby Lobby a long time ago. So first thing I do is scrunch it all together, and I'm going to start on the outer ring. Doesn't matter which chenille tie you start in, but I'm going to start on the outer ring and I accordion it, say that 3 times fast. I did it in an accordion fashion, keeping it all running in the same direction. I'm not twisting it. Lay it down in that chenille tie and twist that shut. I'm going to go ahead and do it around twice. Now that I am going to tie to the edge of this. I'm going to use a tie wrap. I'm going to just put a tie wrap around this to keep it so that it won't come out, and also so that it'll keep it right to the ring. Trust me, you're not going to see this tie wrap. Okay, now I'm going to go to the next chenille tie, the next available chenille tie on the outer ring, and I'm going to accordion together the burlap, and I'm going to pull it out about 10 to 12 inches. Pulled it out about 11 inches. Back it up and then snug it down in to that chenille tie. I'm doing this in the looping fashion. Some people do ruffles. I prefer this method myself. And again, nobody taught me how to do this. I taught myself how to do this. So other people's techniques may be different or better than mine. I'm not claiming to be any kind of professional wreath maker or anything. I'm going to go about 11 inches back up and put this in. Now, I'm going to speed up as I go all the way around the outer edge, and then I'll come back and show you how I transfer over. Important though is to keep your burlap, pardon me, keep your burlap like one side up. Don't twist your burlap as you go around. I find that makes a prettier wreath. Okay, I'm gonna speed up. I'll be back around when I get back around, and we'll transfer over to the center ring, or the inner ring. All right, I'm coming back here for just a second, just to let you know I ran out of this burlap. Hopefully I have some more in the garage. I believe I do. But I'm going to go ahead and twist this on to this ring here and tie wrap it on right here. Run out in the garage and see if I can find some more. I'll be right back. Thankfully, I had more. Brand new one. I will use probably the majority of this one too. This is going to be a very, very large wreath when I'm finished, y'all. And Chris is right. Why compromise? Do it right to begin with. I'm just going to take it and drop it to the floor again. And then I'm going to add a piece. I'm going to give myself a longer piece here so that I can tuck it between, but I'm going to add it. Actually, I'm going to undo this twist tie. I'm going to add it right in, kind of tilted that direction a little bit. I need to leave room because I'm going to be adding a cream layer on top of this too. So this, I just want to put together again like this, twist it around and tie wrap it on. So just really to keep it out of my way more than anything, aesthetically speaking. Okay, now cover that right up. Now I can start again. And continue on. Okay, I'm coming back to the very last one. Again, I'm making another loop, and I'm making it about 11 inches long. And I undid the very first loop that I did. I am opening up the chenille tie and adding this right in with that. Okay, so that finishes one whole ring there. Now, instead of cutting this, I'm just going to transfer over. You get some more tie wraps here, hang on. I'm just going to transfer over to the center ring. And I want to keep this really straight, and I want to take a tie wrap right ahead of this chenille tie and tie this burlap on right there. Or use a tie wrap. Okay, now I'm going to start right there, and I'm going to go to the next available chenille tie, which is right here. And I'm going to make a loop. About 12 inches long. Snug it down in there, and I'm going to work my way all the way around the inner ring. And I'll be back when I've gotten all the way around. Then we're going to do 2 with this, or maybe even 3 with this. We'll see. All right? All right, here I go. So here we go. We're going to do the same thing. Drop it to the floor. And this is harder to handle. This is thicker than regular burlap, and it's a little bit, it's thicker and stiffer. So this is not fun to work with, I'm going to tell you right now, but I'm going to make it work. So, and I'm not going to worry about tying this down to the ring. I'm just going to tuck it back. So I'm leaving myself a little tail there. Start on the outer ring just like I did before. And I'm going to tuck it right down into the chenille tie. And then I'm going to tuck that right to the back. And I'm going to make them about 12-inch loops because I need to come up and over these burlap loops. So I want them about 12 inches for sure. Back it up, add it in, right into the chenille tie. Okay, now I'm going to work my way around the outer edge, and I'll be back when I'm ready to transfer over. Okie dokie, there we go. The outer ring done. Now I'm just going to simply transfer over to the next available tie, which is down here. I could go here, but then that would make it look strange. So I'm going to go all the way down here to the next one, still making them about 12 inches long, each loop, and tuck it right in there on the next, on the inner ring. Okay, work my way all the way around the center now. I don't know whether, I hope I have another thing of this burlap, because I might just use this whole roll. I'm using a lot of burlap in this. I'm just going to tell y'all straight out, a ton of it. But as Chris says, why not do it right if you're going to do it, right? All right, I'll be back. Okie dokie, here I am back at the very beginning, and I have used that whole roll, and I don't remember how many feet it was, but I will tell you here. Let's flash it up for you. I used a ton. I used a ton. So, and that's okay. That's the way I wanted it. I wanted it big and flouncy and beautiful. I'm going to stick it right here in this last twist tie, or chenille tie. I'm going to tuck that in between the rungs. And there we go. Look at that. Now that is pretty amazing. That is going to be big, and it's going to take up the pretty much the whole width of the mirror. I don't have my wreath stand out here. You'll see that in a little bit here. But I'm going to take some time. I'm actually going to move over here and sit down. And I may make a bow too. Now I can't decide whether I want to do, I think I just want to do a navy blue bow all by itself, a funky navy blue bow. Let me go over here. Now what I want to do is I want to make a funky bow. At first I was going to make a navy blue and cream one, but because this is so cream, I really just think I want a navy blue, and I may pull some, pardon me, cream. I may pull some cream florals into it. But again, I want a big fat bow, but I want it all one color. So I'm going to do probably a 12 loop funky bow, but all done in the navy blue. So let me cut 12 strips of the navy blue at, I need to get myself a pipe cleaner, at 24 inches long. And then we'll come back and we'll do us a funky bow tutorial, all with one color ribbon. I think it should be really pretty. All right, be right back. Okie dokie. I decided to do 10 strips instead of 12, just because I only have so much of this ribbon, and I need to make funky bows for the fireplace. And as you know, I'm going to be redoing my funky bows on the staircase. And I do have, like I said, 2 rolls, but I don't want to, you know, I don't want to run out. As it is, I may need to order one more, and I don't really want to do that. But regardless, here we go. So as you can see, I really don't have these in a pattern, because all I'm going to do is pick one up at a time and fold it right in half. And I want them to be about 6 inches long, each of my loops to be about 6 inches long on this, because I want it to be a big fat bow. and pinch it together at that point, and then go to that back tail. Even though it looks like it's two-sided, this really is kind of two-sided. I still like to twist it just to separate the tails out like that. So as I go through this pattern, my pattern for this bow, as you know, I always have a pattern as I go through each of my bows, goes to 6 inches, is I'm gonna do 2 loops up, point 2 loops up from center, center being my thumb, the center of the bow being my thumb. So that's the first 2, and I go back and I twist that tail. And the next 2 loops, I want to point down from center. Go to 6 inches and point that loop down from center. Pinching it together right at that 6-inch point, and go to that back tail and twist. And down from center. So I'll get the gist. 2 up, 2 down, 2 up, 2 down. I'm gonna go ahead and speed through the rest because this is gonna be a long video, too long if I keep going here. So here we go. The next one, 2 up, then 2 down, then 2 up. 6 inches, pinch together, twist that back tail, 2 up. All right, I'll be back when I'm ready to tie it together. Okie dokie, that's all the way through the pattern of ribbon. 2 up, 2 down, 2 up, 2 down, 2 up. That back tail and twist. Now you can see I have one long piece here. I'll get back to that in a second. First of all, and as you can see, I've allowed this ribbon to kind of fall back into the crook of my fingers. And I'm not squeezing so tight that it's hurting me right now, but because I'm letting up on it a little bit. Right here is where I cramp, right in that part of my hand. Anyway, take the pipe cleaner, lay it across right beside your thumb, pull the bottom around the bottom, take the top around the top, and keep pinching. Get these fingers up as close as you can to the back of the bow and twist. I twist the bow and the pipe cleaner while pinching together. Okay? Shake out that hand. And there you have a lot of loops, some going one direction, some going the other. But the way you make a pretty funky bow is the fluffing. Don't worry about the tails, especially in this one. The tails for this bow really just add dimension to the bow, but do get your hand in every one of those loops. Pull it toward the front of the bow and make yourself a big, fat, funky bow. Just like that. Sometimes I'll turn it over. This one got a little bit wonky. And I'll separate out the tails a little bit. But that is going to make a beautiful statement on this wreath, huh? And I really don't do all of the fluffing like this. I wait until I get it. I'm going to be making a spray for this out of greenery and florals. And then this will go in the center, just like I do, like I've been doing my wreaths as of late. And you should probably go up in the left top corner of the bow, or of the wreath, excuse me. And these are the tails. This is what I will use for the tails. So I'm going to go ahead and tie that into the back of the pipe cleaner. And they will hang down on the wreath. Now, once I get my florals in and once they get everything fluffed and big and pretty, is that not going to make a beautiful, beautiful statement? But anyway, that's all I can do today for this wreath. So I will be back in the snap of a finger for you guys, but it'll be tomorrow for me. And we will finish up this wreath by making a spray and attaching this bow onto the spray. And then Chris will put it up on that mirror for me, and we will have ourselves one beautiful, beautiful wreath for on that mirror. All right, I'll be back tomorrow or in a minute. Hey everyone, alrighty, I'm back to try to finish this wreath. It is the next day from when I started doing all this burlap here. So I'm ready to go ahead and make a spray for on this wreath. And as you remember, here's my big funky bow that I made with 2 tails that is gonna go on here. That is navy blue for sure. And I went to Hobby Lobby today because all of their florals are on sale this week. So I was able to pick up a bunch of florals, not only for this project, but for the rest of the projects that I am going to have moving forward here in this decor series. So anyway, come along with me. I've already done just a couple of things, but I'm going to go ahead and finish up this wreath right now. And Chris is actually out and about, so I'm not sure he'll be back in time to put it up today. So I'll probably come back another day yet to finish this video. Oh my goodness, it's taken me days, literally. But anyway, here we go. Let me turn around here and let me point you down a little bit. I wanted to show you, look at these salt and pepper shakers. I wanted to show you these. My mother-in-law gave me these like years and years and years ago, but they're navy blue. Can you see the navy blue light? Aren't they pretty salt and pepper shakers? Found them when I was cleaning out my big hutch out there, when I was putting all the dishes, you know, downstairs. So these are going to go in my 3-tier tray. Obviously that is not finished yet. That is a hot mess, but those are going to go in there when I do that. So anyway, back to this wreath. As you can see here, in a minute, I have 2 kind of swaggy pieces of greenery. These are the same type of pieces that are hanging from my mantle, on either end of my mantle. So I wanted them to be the same up in the wreath. So I'm putting them rather close together. This bow is going to go in between these 2 tufts. So I'm going to put them rather close together. And then I bought 2 stalks of this. And this is one stalk and this is another, but I needed to cut them apart because I wanted to save a little bit out to put in the bow after I get the bow on the wreath. So I cut them apart, plus the stalk was too long, and if I had put them end for end, the stalk was way out here and that wasn't going to be easily hidden. So I'm going to pile all these on top just like that, and then I'm going to tie wrap all of this together, and then I'm going to tie wrap the bow onto this, and then I'm going to tie wrap the whole thing onto the wreath. Then after I've got that much of it on, I've got some blue roses and some cream roses and just some blueberries, that I might like to put around in the spray. So, but for right now, I want to get this tied together. A bunch of tie wraps right here. I want to get this tied together and this bow on, and then it tied onto the wreath, which is going to be a little job in and of itself. Trust me. I'm anxious to get this done though. My elbow is not too much better yet, y'all, if I'm honest. And I really need to get this done so that I can give myself a couple of days rest with this elbow of mine. So anyway, I'm just using tie wraps, as you can see, and I'm tying all of these together, leaving a space in the middle so where I can tie the bow. That action doesn't hurt, it's the cutting and that hurts when I do that. Ugh. Anyway, I think it's tennis elbow. It's like a tennis, I had tennis elbow as a teenager. Anyway, all right, here goes my bow. I want my bow right in the middle. And I actually want it tie wrapped on. So I'm going to put a tie wrap through the pipe cleaner that I used to shut the bow with. Actually, here we go. You make sure. Okay, turn it over for just a second and get it started. And I just want that tied right on, see that? There we go. Oh, almost want to become a lefty. Okay, now let me put my camera up a little bit. I've got my glue gun on here, and I actually want to put a tie wrap kind of behind the bow, in between the bow and the swag. I think I want to use two just to make sure that it's going to be on there very, very, very sturdily. Okay, now let's see, I might have to lay this down to do this, but I want it up like this. I'm going to lay it right about there. And I want it tied to the inner ring. I'm going to try to do that. Okay, there you can see I've got it wound around, kind of around the burlap here, and around the bottom or the inner ring. And I am just going to tighten it up as much as I can. I don't want it going anywhere, and I kind of want it to be pulled in to the wreath, kind of be snugged down into the wreath. So I'm actually pushing on it a little bit, as well as pulling on the tie wraps. Okay, hopefully when I get it up there and fluff that wreath, or fluff that bow, that will work. Okay, now put you back up here. That's about what I wanted. This is a little flouncy for my taste here. Boy, it is hard to get this camera up high enough. Okay. And you have to remember that this is going to be way up high, and that actually we're going to be looking up on this a lot, you know? So that's why I wanted the bow, yes, when you're back from it, but I want to be able to see the wreath around, coming around the bow. Do you see what I mean? I want to be able to see the burlap. Yeah, I don't care if this kind of goes out to the sides a little bit, but I want the circumference around the top, or the curve around the top, if you will. I want that to be seen. It's hard to explain. Really never said that when I make wreaths, but I kind of, and every wreath is different, but in this case, I definitely want to be able to see the roundness around the top. And I'm gonna have to, you know, obviously do something to cover up the green of the wreath a little bit. Okay, first thing I want to do is use some of the tie wraps, and I want to tie some of this greenery into some of the tie wraps to make it look a little bit flouncy. kind of to hold it up behind there a little bit. And some down in this one too. I'm going to put a tie wrap up around one of these loops in the back, and I'm going to tie it to this upper rung, maybe. There's a will. I'm going to find a way, y'all. There we go. I pulled it up just like I wanted it. Yay! There we go. Okay. Okay, now, I did purchase this at Hobby Lobby 2 and Home Sweet Home, but I don't like the color with the navy, so I'm actually, let's see here. These I like better because they do have a darker to them. So only a touch of this. Home Sweet Home will go somewhere else. Okay, so now I have 5 roses, cream roses, that I want to put around. I'm thinking about that. I'm not sure if I like that in the bow. We'll see. To be honest with you, I may not put the blue roses. I may just go with the blueberries. I'm still playing. Be patient with me. Definitely decided not to use the blue roses though. I don't like the blue roses with this. I think I want to just let the navy blue . Got quiet on y'all, didn't I? I'm concentrating. Yes, you're still going to be able to see the cream through there, but just a little something, just to kind of, I don't even know. Again, I'm not trained, but I sure like the way that's looking. I'm going to get that glued in. I may add some blueberries up there, but I want to get it glued in there so it'll stay put. Hang on. This hurts my elbow too, really badly. Gotta go out, buddy? And go outside? And let Sam out. Well, I'm back. I ended up going ahead and feeding Sam. He was a hungry boy and he needed to go out. So I just went ahead and did that. And I just walked back over here and I just stuck a couple of blueberries here and there in there. And I cut a tuft of the white off from up here or actually over there. And I am just putting some right in the bow. I don't want to cover the bow necessarily, but I do want to put a little bit of the cream within the bow. I decided I'm definitely not using these, even though I could, yeah, I could put one or two, ouch, here and there, because these are up on the mantle. This color of blue is up on the mantle. So I may do just a couple on either side, you know, just to bring that blue up into this, you know, just a smidge. I need more than two, obviously. That looks pretty silly, just to have two. You know, you think you're done and then you're not. Berlin is famous for adding more stuff, but you know, I want it to look, I mean, I have to remember what I have down on the mantle too. And I want it to be all one cohesive look, you know? I think this actually looks pretty. Yes, yes I do. I think that's fine. I think that looks good. So I'm going to go ahead and glue these in, these blue roses in, and the couple of little tufts of white that I put in there. And then I will turn this around and, oh, I need to cut my tails. I forgot, I need to cut my tails. And I don't want them to be hugely long, hanging down over this, but I do want them to kind of lay on top of the cream a little bit. And I'm just going to, I always do this. I never get the camera back far enough. I simply want to do a, oh my goodness, you guys, this elbow, simple things like this. I just want to do a simple, just a simple slant. And then I want this one just a little bit shorter. Cut at the same angle, like that. And that, my friends, will be that, I think. Oh my goodness. I think it looks super pretty. Now I need to work with it a little bit and just cover up these green chenille ties, even to the point where I may just glue these together, just a smidge, just to, you know, hide the little bit of green that's showing like here, these two, really, these two. So let me do that, and then I will be back for some final words. I just had this over here before I came back, and I decided for sure I don't want this on here. This may go down on my mantle or down on my hearth somewhere, but I definitely do not want this on this. I don't know where that'll end up. It'll go somewhere, but anyway, all right, let me do a little gluing, and then I'll come back for some final words, and then I'll come back in another day to show you the final product, or at least do like a silent video of the, you know, of where this ended up, and you know how it looks up on the mirror above the mantle. Oh my goodness. Okie dokie, everyone, here we go. This is the final product. Look at this thing. It's huge, y'all. I mean, it is huge. Let me measure it for you, as a matter of fact. I didn't even think to do that, but just across, you know, I don't even know, about 34 inches across, and maybe a little less up and down, more like 32 up and down, but because, you know, this stuff kind of spurts out the sides, it may be a little bit wider, but this will take up the entire width of the mirror, which is what I wanted to do, and it will be centered from top to bottom on the mirror. So also too, I wanted to show you, I took a 72-inch piece of this burlap. This is all I have left of, I need to order some more because I really love this cream. This burlap, and I think this is 14 inches wide. And all I did was, I just eyeballed it, y'all. I folded it in equally on each side, and I made one long piece of burlap, and we'll tie it on the back of this. And then Chris, don't ask me how he does it, y'all. I really don't know what he has back there, but he somehow behind the mirror, he makes it look like this is just right over the mirror like this, and then it's tucked into whatever he has up there. So, but it looks like say this is the end of the mirror, my fingers, it hangs down, and then the wreath will hang from this. So it's so soft, so pretty, so subtle. I mean, it's huge, don't get me wrong, but it's gonna be up high in a big room. It needed to be big. It needed to be, to make a big statement, you know? And it ties in beautifully with the mantle, with what I did with the mantle, you know? I absolutely love it. I absolutely love it. It turned out perfectly. Well, nothing is ever perfect. What am I saying? Nothing is ever perfect. Certainly nothing, anything I do is ever perfect, you know? But it turned out to be exactly what my mind's eye had pictured, you know? And you guys, some of you tell me you don't know how I can see a project at, you know, see the end result. I don't know either, y'all. I don't know either. I don't know how, I don't know that that is learned just through doing. I do know that it is a gift, you know, and I will embrace that gift from the Lord and say thank you so much, because I do so much appreciate being able to visualize the end result. So this is exactly what I had pictured. I am super happy with it, and I know I kind of do my wreaths the same way each time similarly, but that's the way I like them to look. So I'm not going to change just to have something, you know, that I might not be quite as happy with. I want to do them the way I like them in my home, because these things hang in my home, you know. What I create goes in my own home. I'm not creating for anybody else, but for myself, my family, and whoever might come to visit, you know, to see. So, but anyway, I'm happy, super happy with how this worked out. I am sorry that this video has kind of taken me 3 days to, you know, including the day that you're going to see yet, you know, with it hung up. But I am sorry that it's taken me a few days to get this pulled together, but, you know, sometimes it takes more than just a, you know, an hour or two to pull something together like this of this scale, at this scale. So Anyway, that'll do it for when I'm looking at you anyway. So, and I believe this, if I can get this edited, will be Friday. So I'm going to say, first of all, have a great weekend, y'all. I hope that you get to go and visit, or somebody's coming to visit you that you love and who loves you, or that you get to spend time doing exactly what you want to do, or if that means that it's just sitting around and resting, then that's what that means. That's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be resting this arm because it is stinging. It is hurting. So, but anyway, with all that said, let me just say thank y'all so much again for stopping by, for all of your continued support. I am so touched, y'all. I don't look at my my subby count all that much, but I'm almost to 22,000 subscribers, y'all. 22,000. When I think of that, how many is that? Oh my gracious, that boggles my mind, y'all. I'm coming up on my 3rd year on YouTube. It'll be in October. I've been on here almost 3 years. Wow, what a ride this has been, huh? Thank y'all for coming along with me. I appreciate it. I appreciate every single one of you. If I can't comment back because of my arm, honestly, it really hurts to edit. It hurts to type. It hurts, all that stuff, This did not feel good doing this. I have to be honest. So I need to rest. I need to rest. So, but anyway, this is becoming chronic pain for me a little bit. This week it's been a little bit chronic. So y'all maybe could say a prayer for me this weekend, huh? I'd appreciate it. But let me just say, for those of you who are struggling or suffering with a catastrophic illness or chronic pain, I hope that you have someone there with you, taking care of you, helping you get through each day, making the very, very best out of each day. I hope there's nothing weighing on your minds or your hearts, pulling your attention away from where it should be or from where you want it to be. I love y'all to bits, to bits, to bits. Hugs all around. And I keep you in my thoughts and my prayers every single day. And with all of that said, I'll just say, until next time, y'all take good. Remember, in crafting, there are no mistakes, only unique creations. Now, with all that said, I'll just say, until next time, y'all take good care. Bye-bye.